process of reproduction is one of the most vital processes in the survival and propagation of a species. This process involves the reproductive cells, the non-motile ovum, and the motile sperm. The sperm fertilizes the mature ovum, resulting in the fusion of the egg and the sperm to form a zygote. The single-celled zygote undergoes a cleavage to form two cells, which further divides in a synchronized manner to form 4 cells and then 8 cells. This division continues, forming 16 to 32 cells, thus giving rise to a solid ball of cells called the morula. As the cleavage continues, morula develops into a blastocyst, which is a hollow ball surrounded by a single layer of cells enclosing a cavity called the blastocoele or the cleavage cavity. The blastocyst has a mass of cells called the inner cell mass. These cells divide and some differentiate to form flattened squamous cells. A few cells of the inner cell mass are modified to form the columnar cells, and the rest form the inner lining of the amniotic cavity. The squamous cells further divide to form a layer around the archenteron. The two layers formed are the ectoderm and the endoderm. A closer look at this region shows a gap between these two layers. This gap gradually gets filled up by the dividing ectodermal cells. These cells are the mesenchymal cells and form a third layer called the mesoderm. This makes the embryo triploblastic, and this stage is called the gastrula stage. The endoderm, along with the endodermal tube called the archenteron, will develop into the digestive and the respiratory system. The mesoderm, consisting of mesenchymal cells, will eventually give rise to the circulatory, excretory, and skeletal systems. The ectoderm, consisting of columnar cells of the gastrula, will develop into the central nervous system and the skin. The zygote undergoes a series of divisions to form the embryo. This is known as embryonic development. The fusion of sperm with the ovum forms the zygote. This undergoes cleavage in a synchronized manner, forming a solid ball of cells called morula. Morula develops a cavity in the center and is now called a blastocyst. Further division and differentiation of cells transform the blastocyst into gastrula. The gastrula represents the triploblastic embryo with ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm as the 3 germ layers. The endoderm, along with endodermal tube called the archenteron, will develop into the digestive and the respiratory system. The mesoderm, consisting of mesenchymal cells, will eventually give rise to the circulatory, excretory, and skeletal systems. The ectoderm, consisting of columnar cells of the gastrula, will develop into the central nervous system and the skin. Once each of the cell layers differentiate, the fetus is formed. But what's next? How is the fetus kept alive until birth? Does a fetus eat? Do they excrete? So many questions. But do not worry, our journey continues.